As I think some of you may know, we're celebrating a special moment, a special person and a special moment in the life of this congregation. We're celebrating the installation of Rabbi Shoshana Nambi, who it's such a joyful moment for you, for your family, for your friends who are here as well, but also such a joyful moment for us as a congregation as well to be able to formally install you as our newest rabbi this evening. And so we've got some special guests who are going to tell us a little bit about you, who've known you a lot longer than we all have known you, because we have certainly gotten to know you in the last few months. But our special guests this evening have known you for a lot longer. So I want to call up Rabbi Gershom Suzomu, who's been joining us all evening with his wonderful music and spirit and soul, who is the rabbi of the community in Uganda, who's known Rabbi Nambi, well, you'll explain, for a long time. And then after Rabbi Suzomu, we'll invite up Rabbi Julie Carroll, who was Rabbi Nambi's supervisor at Rodef Shalom in New York. So, Rabbi Suzomu, welcome.
Thank you, Rabbi Heath. I want to thank the clergy for sharing this bima, and I want to thank you all for your presence and for your audience. It is a privilege to be standing here and making history. It is the first time in history of the Jewish community, which is about 105 years old in Uganda, to have one of us be installed in a wonderful congregation like this. And I'm going to say Shechechianu on behalf of that, on behalf of all the Abayudaya, and on behalf of all of you. Baruch Ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shechechianu vekiyamanu vehigianu lazman hazeh. Rabbi Shoshana Nambi, I am here standing in the shoes of your ancestors, Semei Kakunguru, the founding father of our community, Samson Mugombe, Yonadavu Keki, Mishael Biroji, and many others. Their spirit guides me and you, and it is the reason we appear here. Rabbi Shoshana Nambi, I knew you from when you were a child, and you were my student. Rabbi Shoshana Nambi, those of you who don't know her, is a very humble woman, as you see. I have never seen Rabbi Nambi quarrel or fight with anyone in the community from childhood. I have only seen her smile, her humble posture. She's very special. There are very few people like Rabbi Shoshana Nambi. And being my student, I thought humbleness, she's humble, but also loud inside her. Rabbi Shoshana Nambi will not keep quiet if there is anything that she has to say. There are humble people who are shy, but she's not shy. During our Shabbat classes, she's number one to raise her hand. And I actually saw a rabbi in her before she even realized. One time, I got a letter from Brandeis Badin camp here in California, in Los Angeles. And they wanted me to recommend 2 people to come to camp. And when I looked around, I saw that Rabbi Shoshana Nambi would be our good representative. And indeed she was. She represented our community very well. And Brandeis continues to give our community opportunities of coming to participate in their programs. Rabbi Nambi, I come here to feel your hands. In the book of Vaikira, the installation of Kohanim is referred to as Limlot Yadaim. And there is a sheep that is offered, and it's called Eil Hamelot. I want to offer that sheep spiritually to you to fill your hands, so that you become like Sarah and Abraham, whose story concludes with this parasha. It says, Hayei Sarah, the life of Sarah, but in other words, it is talking about the end of life of Sarah and Abraham. But what does the Torah say? They were on a journey like yours, and in that journey, they encountered so many challenges. They encountered angels. You know, when you encounter challenges, there are angels that come your way. And Malachim blessed Sarah and Abraham. When Sarah laughed about having a child at old age, one of the angels said, Haipale davar me Adonai. Haipale me Adonai davar. Will anything be beyond God? And indeed, coming from Africa, from a place where you could die of malaria, of typhoid, from a place where you have to go miles to look for water, from a place of nothing, and coming to the United States, studying to become a rabbi, go through the rabbinic course, get ordained, and be brilliant as you are. Indeed, it's not only about you, it is about the angels that you encountered in your life. The angels that said to you, Haipaleme Adonai Davar. My colleague, Rabbi Caro, is one of the angels. The clergy at Bethlehem, the teachers, your friend, the AD, the late Mama Harriet, and I know Ken is here. Ken from New York. These are angels. All of you are the angels that say silently to people like Shoshana Nambi, Haipale me Adonai Davar. Shall anything be beyond God? And we have to be thankful. But beyond, in my conclusion, beyond all, in Abraham's trip from his motherland to a place that is not unknown, in Parashat Lech Lecha, the Torah describes Abraham as a person who carried along Rehush, his property, Lot, his brother's son, but also Hanefesh Asher Asu, the soul that they created, meaning both Abraham and Sarah. So I want to fill your hands with the blessing of Hanefesh Asher Asu, the nefesh, the soul that you make, the spirit, the soul that you touch. When you touch a soul, you make them. And that is the blessing of Abraham and Sarah. May you be as a blessing, not only to yourself, be a filter of blessings and curses. You know, people have blessings and curses, but you should be the filter. You know what filter does to water? If there is dirty water, goes through the filter, and the other end, you get clean water. Be the filter of blessings and curses, and bless the people. May your hands that are filled tonight be a blessing not only to yourself, but to this community. And not only to this community, but to your community in Uganda, the Abayudaya. I recognize the presence of so many Abayudaya who are here, who are very, very eager to receive blessings from your hands. And I want to finally thank again the clergy, Rabbi Heath, Rabbi Kenta Shipal, Rabbi Alt, and every other person in the search committee that enabled Nambi to be part of this bima. I thank you. You are the angels, not only in the life of Nambi, but in the life of Abayudaya. And I want to bless you, my daughter, with the blessing of Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. And we shall make that blessing later when you come. Shabbat Shalom, may you be blessed.
Who on earth am I to attempt to follow such absolutely stunning remarks? I did not expect to come to your community and be called myself an angel. Thank you so much, Rabbi Sizomu. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Milestones like this are treasures in the crown of my life. This evening sparkles. I want to thank the Congregation Beth Am clergy and staff and this incredible community and the board of directors for inviting me to share this simcha with you and to expand the story of blessing upon which you are embarking with Rabbi Shoshana Nambi. That Shehechianu spoke to me because Rabbi Nambi was my very first mentee as a rabbi, the first student I ever had the privilege of guiding through their rabbinic internship. I remember when Rabbi Nambi first visited your community, I asked her how she felt about the landscape of California, which differs so vastly from New York City. "It feels more like home," she replied. "Of course, the warmth, the sunlight, the avocados. Amuna felt it too. Your congregation, this land on the opposite end of our vast country, beckoned these two bold women home to a new yet familiar place. And like Rebecca in this week's Parsha, you responded, Rabbi Nambi, Elech, I will go. Parshat Chaye Sarah shares with this evening the theme of legacy. In the wake of Sarah's death, Abraham lays claim to the first piece of land in Canaan, the cave of Machpelah, activating God's covenantal promise through his negotiations with the Hittites. It's easy to gloss over this mundane fact. Just 2 weeks ago, we read that God appeared to Abraham saying, Lech lecha, go forth from your native land, your birthplace, the land of your ancestors, to the land that I will show you. I promise this land to your offspring. The phrase promised land feels metaphysical, that in God speaking the words to Abraham, they become true. But that's not so. The land of Canaan is activated into its promise through commerce. Covenantal relationship is far less about magic than it is about aspiration initiating action. Abraham does not wait for God to issue a deed. He obtains it himself. There is no miracle without agency in Jewish life or Jewish lore. And this is a piece of Torah that your Rabbi Nambi knows innately. Rabbi Nambi has a keen eye for the miraculous. Just ask her to describe a classroom full of eager students, a shared meal with friends, or a visit home to her Abba Yudaya community in Uganda. Shoshana sees a world bursting with marvels, and part of her vast wisdom lies in the urgency she feels to point it out to us. And like Abraham, Rabbi Nambi manifests miracle. In her Kol Nidre sermon 2 years ago, she affirmed, our biggest task is to hold our truth in one hand and also be open to truth that comes from other places and other people. To recognize that our world can be better, and to remember that even though we might feel small in the face of enormous responsibilities, our contribution can affect change. Amidst our increasingly siloed, echo-chambered, antagonizing public sphere, Shoshana is a leader who emerges to draw us back toward one another. She means it when she says that everyone has Torah. And like Abraham, Rabbi Nambi is impatient to discover and to harness those insights toward healing our aching world. After mourning his wife Sarah, Abraham sends his servant to find a wife for Isaac. It's a tall order for any employee. Go find someone worthy of the boss's only beloved son. So the servant develops a test to know if he has succeeded. I will know, the servant tells God, that I found the right wife for Isaac when I ask her for a drink, and she not only offers me water, she offers to water my 10 camels. It's a savvy assessment tool for certain characteristics: graciousness to travelers and animals, strength, and a certain fearlessness. What is the first word out of Rebekah's mouth upon encountering Abraham's servant? Shteh, drink. And I'll also draw water for your camels until they finish drinking. Rebekah is woven into the Israelite narrative because of her capacity to quench a deep thirst. Torah situates her at a spring because she embodies a fountain. And here again, we detect a trait from our second matriarch flowing through your Rabbi Nambi. Shoshana, you are a well. Like Rebekah, you go out to meet those who thirst for Torah and belonging and purpose. You irrigate dry spaces of misunderstanding and abject certainty with compassion and curiosity. Now, Rebekah doesn't stop with the camels. Once their thirst is slaked, Rebekah invites Abraham's servant and his entourage home for a meal and some much-needed rest. This is a Shoshana Nambi move. You have always been able to look past the surface toward the deeper need. I felt this in our Zoom interview for your internship at Road of Sholem. You jumped through the screen at us. The loudest moments of your interview were the silences because they were filled with your presence. In addition to the deliberate poetry of her words, Rabbi Nambi can sit quietly in reflection, processing a thought, holding the feelings of her conversation partner, sharing space without the impulse to judge or proffer opinion. She is a master of tzimtzum, the contraction of self to make space for others, and she simultaneously knows her worth. Like Rebekah, she manifests strength, she deftly intuits human need and vulnerability, and she evinces an unshakable confidence in how essential her life is to the unfolding story of Am Yisrael. There is holiness in the safety of Shoshana's fellowship. It's the soft, embracing manner of a true pastor. She heeds the call to witness your lives, to journey alongside you, to be like water, a pure source of replenishment that cools and calms. And this is what you felt when you met her as an applicant for your rabbinic assistant position. Like the servant, you set out an array of complex criteria that would help you detect the one. And your system worked too. You found her. Upon Rebekah's arrival in Canaan, we read the first use of the verb le'ehov, to love. V'ye'ehaveha v'yenachem Yitzhak acharei imo. And Isaac loved her and was comforted after the death of his mother. This is a kind of love we recognize. It's not an obscure love demanded by God, enacted through fulfilling commandments. It's a love born of caring, empathetic covenant. Rebekah and Isaac's love sets a new chapter in motion. In soil drenched with tears of grief, Rebekah plants seeds of renewal and hope. Rabbi Nambi brings the same seeds to the fertile soil of Los Altos Hills. Here, her love will bring you comfort. Here, Shoshana's wisdom will slake your thirst for Torah. Here, her empathy, her intuition, and her drive to nurture belonging will ensure that you always find embrace, sacred presence, and an outstretched hand. Here, Rabbi Nambi will ensure that no miracle goes unnoticed. Here, Rebekah's Elech, I'll go, which shaped the next chapter of Sarah's legacy, will become Rabbi Nambi's Nelech. Let us journey forward together, writing new chapters for this brilliant congregation Beth Am who chooses her in love. Through the sacred alchemy of community, you will enact countless miracles together, unfurling the promise that God made to Abraham and that Rebekah made to Isaac. Lech lecha. May you all go forth in blessing.
We're going to invite the congregation to please rise as Rabbi Carol and Rabbi Suzomu open the ark and offer Rabbi Nambi some private words of blessing. So as we continue to offer some more blessings, I want to call up, we'll have your clergy colleagues join you, and also the rest of the Beth Am, some of the other Beth Am staff. So Sarah Lowing Cohen and Jeremy Regent are here tonight. I'm going to call you guys up as we offer you our priestly blessing, one of our oldest and most sacred blessings that we have in Jewish tradition. So we're gonna kind of surround you here with love. And this comes not just from us, who you work with every day, but really from all of us in this congregation.
Oh, and Naomi, too.
And Naomi's coming too.
Mandy.
Oh, and Mandy.
Mandy,
and Zoe,
come on.
Yeah.
And Zoe.
Great. Is Lauren here? Lauren Sharp. Oh, and is Lauren Sharp still here?
Is Lauren still with us? No?
All right.
Okay. Okay, fine.
let's put our hands. Let's all put our hands.
All right.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's face always smile on you, just as you smile on all of us each and every day. And may you know throughout this work, which has ups and downs, which is not always easy, but which, with your tenderness and your care and your warmth, may you always know inside and out a sense of shalom, a sense of peace and wholeness. Brucha haba'ah, welcome, mazel tov. Mazel tov! Yeah!
Simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov. Yehelanu, yehelanu, yehelanu. Woo! Eloka Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu. Eloka Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu. Eloka Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu. Eloka
Be seated.
Patrick, we're using these mics.
I want to begin by saying thank you. I'm sure you've all heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a rabbi. And even more so, to guide a young girl from rural eastern Uganda to becoming a rabbi at Congregation Betham in Los Altos Hills in California. Thank you to Rabbi Geshem. Where are you? All right. Thank you to Rabbi Geshem for traveling all the way from Uganda to be here with us to celebrate us and to bless me and this congregation and all of us. Most importantly, thank you for advocating for young women to become leaders in our community. I vividly remember sitting in heated discussions that you led, heated discussions of whether women should become leaders in our community. And you led those discussions with grace, understanding where our community was coming from. You shared stories of female rabbis and chevrutas and teachers that you worked with, that you studied with, which helped me envision the possibility of being one of those women, one of those leaders. Rabbi Rockstar, Rabbi Julie, thank you so much. You inspired me over the past 3 years while I learned with you at Congregation Rodep Shalom as an intern. I gained so much knowledge through your guidance, but what resonated with me the most is your encouragement for me to teach my own Torah. You taught me that there's no single way of being a rabbi. You taught me that our stories and experiences shape who we become as rabbis. And those stories are what we share with our communities. As a rabbinic student from Uganda, you helped me understand what it means to be part of American leadership, American Jewish institutions, a synagogue, reform movement. I relied on you to give me the insights of those institutions. Thank you to my friends and family who are here today. My daughter Imuna, who has been the greatest support with me, living with me in Jerusalem for 2 years, in New York, and now in California. Thank you so much. Thank you for your joy. All my friends who have traveled from New York, from Evanston, Illinois, from Seattle, thank you for being here. I hope that all my community, all of you, will get to meet them this weekend, so one way or the other. And of course, those who could not join us tonight, some of whom my friends are streaming online, but especially those who are no longer with us in this world. I know for sure that my grandparents are smiling down at us. They smile every moment, every day, but especially days like this one. They loved being part of the Jewish community. They loved Torah. And this, I think, is a role that would make them so proud and so happy. And my friend, of course, and mentor Harriet Bograd, who passed away, she would have rejoiced at the opportunity to make so many friends and connections tonight. She was that person. Thank you, Betham. I'd like to express my gratitude to the search committee that was led by Deb Braden and Cami Lehman, as well as the board and all the community members for recognizing my passion and dedication to serving the Jewish community. Thank you for embodying warmth and a welcoming spirit. I would have to tell you that this was the easiest decision that I made to join you here. Thank you to all the volunteers, drivers who welcomed us, driving me to Betham and back, Emuna to school, inviting us for dinners, taking me grocery shopping, because I learned the hard way that, you need a car in California, you have to drive. To those who have donated all household items, including lifting them up into my apartment, thank you so much. Thank you to my incredible team, the clergy team, Kent Ashpal, Rabbi Heath, Rabbi Nematov, to the education team, the administrative team, the facilities team, lay leaders of all capacities. You all make me feel a sense of belonging and feel so welcome. To quote Rabbi Nematov, "We are family." Thank you so much for welcoming me to the tent of Betham. This week, we've talked a little bit more about this week's Torah portion. We read that Sarah, our matriarch, dies, and Abraham, as Rabbi Kero says, sends his servant to find Isaac a wife. Isaac, still traumatized and grieving, 1, for being nearly sacrificed, 2, for losing his mother, brings Rebekah into his mother's tent. This tent is a place of pain, but also becomes a place of comfort. We read that Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother Sarah and took Rebekah as his wife. Isaac loved her and thus found comfort after his mother's death. It is so beautiful to read that love is what helped Isaac to find comfort, and that it happened in Sarah's tent, a place that was both a place of pain and a place of love, and now a place of comfort. Betham is my tent. Betham is our tent. There's a beautiful image to draw between the tent of Isaac that brought him love and comfort and our community of Betham. This place is a place of healing. Even after when we lose, even when we fight, even when the world falls apart, I know that this is a place where we can come and grieve and also celebrate life, and a place where we can move forward together. It's the tent of unions of different kinds, different deep friendships, wedding, committees, and groups. It's a place of listening to each other's journeys and needs. It's a place of support for each other, a place where we draw a map of how we move forward. It's where we bring our small tents, my small tent, into the large giant tent. Some of us go and come back, but this place awaits. I grew up in a tent like this one, a place where I had meals at the synagogue, at the congregation when I needed them, a place where I sang Hinematov loud and proud, a place where I went to college but came back when it awaited me. The real reason why I became a rabbi is that I wanted to continue to live in a tent like this one. I could not imagine my life, how my life would have turned out without being part of a Jewish community. All my friends, the entire community, the support and love from learning and singing and eating and deep friendship. My hope is that my daughter and I continue to being part of a larger tent of Betham and a larger tent of the Jewish peoplehood, as well as for myself facilitate and foster a community for others who seek to find meaning and belonging in their lives and who are looking for connections and support. Sarah's tent became a place of healing because of love. Our tent here has always been and will always continue to be a place of healing, a place of moving forward, a place of gratitude, but only if we love each other and we work together. May we all grow from strength to strength. Shabbat Shalom.
That was great.
Get on our feet. We're going to close with a song. And